welcome to Caroline's Craft Tree. Today I wanted to show you how I do my hand stitching and beading on items. I've had quite a few people ask me about how I did it, so today I thought I'd do a video and show you. Just a few things. I'm just going to do a little card to show you. Got some seed beads. I have some embroidery floss, my needle threader. This is just a little piece of foam which I used to poke into. I made this here, and it is just a cork with a sewing needle pushed into it, and I use that to do the poking because I want a nice fine hole in it. I also use a beading needle because I'm using the seed beads. And I use these little gadgets. They're actually by Stamping Up. They have nice little grid lines. You can just freehand the holes. I used to use a little template that I made out of cardboard until somebody gave me these things. I have two sizes of them. So they come in really, really handy, and I really like using these. So let's get started here. Let's move a few of these off to the side. Now the car, I did glue this little pocket. It's going to be a little pocket. I did glue it down. So I just take this and I line it up to where I want my stitches to go. Now you could do every hole in a straight line. You could do zigzag by going back and forth. It all depends on what you want to do. So I'm going to do a zigzag, and I'm going to start here. So, sorry, my hand's probably in the way. But I alternate between the two rows. So then, when the time comes, I'll have a zigzag stitch. And I move the template around sometimes, depending on where I want my stitches. The nice thing is that you can kind of play around and put them pretty much where you want them. And then we'll just do some up this side. It's kind of hard to show this with my hands not in the way. But I'll give you an idea. And like I say, you can just freehand this if you want. You don't even have to punch the holes. You could just put your needle in, but I like to have that guideline of where I'm going and what I'm going to be doing with it. So once I get the holes where I want it, not sure how well or even if you can really see where I put the holes. This side you can see better. So I've got my needle already threaded. So depending if you want your threads to show, you can go whichever way. So I'm going to have my threads on the top after I tie them. So I just hold that with my finger. And then from that side, I go in like so. And then from this side, now really you go one way and then you go back over it. That way it gives you the nice clean zigzag stitch of what you're doing. Basically just going to go back and forth. And like I say, I use the needle on the cork because I want a nice small hole. You could even use an awl or anything really. I tried just using a sewing needle, but it's hard to push it through. That's why I put mine on the cork. So once you reach the end, because I'm going to have a little break in mine right here. So this is what it looks like so far on the one side. And so far on the other side. Now to start the other side, you just basically, you're going to go back in to where you had it. Then on this side. So then you end up with that nice, even zigzag. To go back and forth. So then I would go all the way to the end, and then I would just tie it in a knot, and I would leave my threads hang there. But I want to show you how to add the beads to it, which is very, very easy. I'm just going to dump a few out onto my mat there so they don't roll away. So now whether you want 1 bead, 2 beads, 3 beads, and just, I'm going to add 3. So whatever side you want the beads to show on, when your thread is coming up through your thing, string on your beads, and then just plop it back down. And there's your beads. So then come back up to the right side of your work, like so. Add on 3 more beads, or however many beads you're using. Once they're threaded on your needle, put your needle back through to the back side, and there is your second row of beads. And you would just continue in that fashion until you reach the end of where you want the beads to be. I love doing this on the sides of the paper, over top of my lace. So there you go. And there's the back side. So I'll just do these last couple. And of course it takes forever to get the beads on the needle. Oh, and then I spill them. Not typical when people watch and you mess up. So yeah, so then when I reach the end here, do a couple last stitches, back and forth. So then when I reach the end, all that I will do is I will just tie a knot. If it's something that I'm going to bury in between papers or something, I'll put a piece of tape. But because I was going to leave the threads out. So there you have, since we're doing a close-up here of it, you can see the beads. And on the back side, get a nice even zigzag stitch. I find it, I really like the look of it, more so than my sewing machine. Anyways, I hope this helps. Have fun stitching, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.